The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Tiger Technician Hour with your host, Basil Chapman. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Now, Basil Chapman.
Good morning, everyone. Basil Chapman on this Friday, the 15th of August. We're looking at the Dow up 94. A lot of that has to do with the UNH position that Buffett took and announced, at least it took it a little while ago. So we're at 45,007, up 93, the 45,073 high of last year. With a double top at 45,054, then a triple and a quadruple, and now a break to the upside, going to the 45,203 level this morning. That gets you to D. D is the objective in the Chapman Wave buy mode, and now we'll see if there's some participation in this rotation that says you had the S&P and the Qs make all-time highs. The Dow did not. Now it has. The IWM is lagging. It has tried its best. It had a really big spike on Thursday. Let me just do this again. Thursday. On Wednesday, I believe. Let me go IWM. Yeah, now it's pulling back. It's at 226.79. I would not like to see it take out the low of yesterday. There should be some kind of a turnaround to at least close in the 227s today rather than lower than that, or 27s or higher. Meantime, back at the ranch, what we're looking at is the QQQ. Made an all-time high 3 days ago. Now it's pulled back just a little bit to 578.41. Now, if you're looking at this weekly chart, that is an incredible move. Basically, it's like one leg from the low that was made at about 400 all the way to the high that was made on today's. So that was Wednesday at 583.32. Let me just type that in. Oh, I have it already. 583.42. All right, so that's the high. That's, look, the 9-period moving average is over the 14. The MACD is good, not anywhere as strong as it was all the way back in July. The stochastic is flat at 90%. That's great. The on-balance volumes pull back just a little bit. All of this is good. The relative strength is not as good as it was last month, but it's still pretty good. We're looking at this powerful leg B, and it says that, let's just say there's just a horrible, whatever it is, a worst-case scenario. That 9-period moving average is at 556. The 14-period moving average is at 545. So that would be your key support. To get that green line to go pink, in other words, for it to turn down, you'd probably have to go under 520 or at least to 520, and you're at 578 right now. So far, that is all very good action. And it's only a leg B in the Chapman Wave methodology. We should still go in 2025. We should go to a higher high, leg C, then a peak C, and then a leg D, and then a peak D. So that's a work in progress. Let me go back to the IWM. IWM right now is trading at 226.61, down $1.63. Not great action. I really thought it was going to do much better than that. I'm going to go to the SMHs, which is the semiconductors. Semiconductors trading down 5 at 296.98. So I've called this an alternate count G/C. So I put a question mark on that peak that was made back in July. That was on July the 30th at 297.38. Why? Because there was a pullback, very sharp, 4 sessions trading underneath the 14-period moving average, the black line, and yet the green did not go negative. So this is actually a powerful move to the upside. And even more importantly, I have to put a question mark. It's something that I've done over the last many years where I put in a down arrow because it's at a peak F and it went quite sharply below the 14-period moving average, but that 9 remained stagnant. It did not weaken to go underneath the black 14-period moving average to go pink. The technical Friday to go today, so we're doing some technical stuff. Instead, what happened was it popped up and it went to a higher high, quite a bit higher than the 297 high of July, 30th, and it went to 302.98. So far, that is just saying, consider this could be a G or a /C, but you have to wait a little longer before you can actually confirm that. The technicals are strong enough to say there could still be a higher high to come. That's just the way it looks at this particular point. I want to do... Okay, the next thing I want to look at here, so that's the semiconductors. Let's look at NVIDIA. It's the same thing. NVIDIA pulled back very sharply from 183.30 on the 31st of July, pulls back, and lo and behold, it goes to a peak. See, I can't call it anything else. There's never an H. So with that said, I am looking at the chances are that there could be one or two spikes to the upside. This is only a leg A in a monthly chart. That is unbelievable. Earnings come out on the 27th. We'll see what happens then. All right, going on to, I need to get back to the XLK just real quickly. That's the Select Spider Fund. So this also has this alternate count. Could be a G, could be a C. And the 9-period moving average held beautifully. It's still holding well. So there's still internal strength. And that's all I can say. Using these particular indicators, there's internal strength. And now I want to go to the GDX. The GDX is trading up 7 cents at 57.77. Look at this. Every other time we've gone into this Chapman Wave inside track repellent zone, the pink and green narrow channel up there, I call it the sell zone. So people do one trend line. I say if you do two trend lines, it gives you a cushion. It gives you a sense of, so there's some leeway, not one particular price. And this leeway I found is just a fantastic guide. Now, what will happen is gold is holding well. We'll see what happens over the weekend. Anything can happen. So the geopolitical situation could flare up again. It might not. It might. Who knows? But in the meantime, if there's no new high this week above the high that was made in the GDX weekly chart of 58.81, if it goes to 58.81 or 82, we're at 57.82, a point lower. I just don't see anything today to do that. But if it does that, then what we're looking at is we're looking at a situation where this will be the first time you've gone into a third week. That'll be next week, tagging that line right there. Normally, the second week after hitting this, not normally, but over the last two times, this will be the third, that's when you get your pullback. So if next week there's a pullback in the GDX below 56, let's just make it, it's 56.44, I'm going to make it 56. That suggests that gold is going to be in for a bit of a rest period, and the gold itself is a little bit different chart. This is the miners. Gold itself is much weaker. It's going to the same track, but the inside track, propellant zone. Will it hold or won't it hold? That's the question. But look, I spoke about the rectangle formation. I've had webinars on this. I had a webinar the other night, Tuesday night. And look, this webinar that I spent time on talking about the narrow rectangle and the wide rectangle. This is the wide, and what happened? We went right to the outer perimeter on the upside, and now we're coming back. Are we going to go down to the 3,300 and then come bounce again? I don't know, but in the meantime, it's stuck in the rectangle formation. Let me just go to high-grade copper. High-grade copper is up just a fraction, and I didn't want to go to silver. Silver at this point is down 15 cents. It's just stuck in a range. I'll be right back. Basil Chapman, Tiger Ignitions Hour. We'll be right back. Dow's up 60.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Hi folks, we're back and we're looking at the Dow up only 36 now. It was up hundreds before, but now it's only up 36. S&P's down 10. So let's do this. We wanted to look at the bonds right here. The bonds down sharply, down another 930 seconds. But let's look at it as a TLT. TLT hasn't quite taken out the low of 2 days ago, but it's making this H pattern, which suggests that the TBT could be challenging, and there it is in leg C to the upside. Not a very big rally, but it is moving to the upside, so we're going to be watching this closely. I don't think right at this moment rates are really the issue. There are a lot of other things going on. And I do want to look at, just to show you crude oil one more time, down 60 cents. It went to a lower low. The 200-period moving average is at 60.82. I'm going to be watching that to see what happens next. But so far, crude oil isn't telling us very much at all. Now we need to go. I had a question about CRISPR. So this is CRISPR is the gene editing. CRISPR Therapeutics are CRSPR is the heading, therapeutics, but the symbol itself is CRSP. It's trading up $1.60 at 60.42. So the question is, let's say I still have a small call left and look to add at pullbacks. So today's the first time in quite a while that the 9-period moving average has flipped back to positive. So as I'm looking at this, my suggestion is that if you want to add to it, it's a very strange stock. It's got the whole story about gene editing, and I mean, this was it once upon a time. Look at this chart. Once upon it went to 220.20 back in 2021. I think it was January, and it just tumbled. And every time it starts to rally, it kind of fails. This is the first time in the weekly chart that is holding the 9-period moving average. The MACD is good. The stochastic's disappointing because it's gone back to 69. That to me is usually a tip-off to say, just be careful. You haven't got all the little ducks in order. It did a left side, right side price time match right there. It broke out to that leg B. They went to a peak B. the way I'm looking at it, the weekly chart looks pretty good. If you look at the daily chart, that's a long way to go from 60 where we are right now to the last high, which is at 71.13. So 71.13. Yeah, so that's a long way to go. But I am going to make a suggestion. Because in this environment, the way it's acted over the last few days, holding pretty darn well, I'm going to suggest that you add a small position here, because if ever there was an opportunity for this to form this straight down and then a rectangle formation, and I'm going to make the rectangle formation first here, right there. So, and that the there that I'm talking about is right there with the high of the bar of the 29th of July of 62.88. So this is what I'm going to recommend. Start a small position, and that small position you can even split. Just get your foot in the door saying, okay, it's acting very well. If by Tuesday it's gotten to 60, let's see, the high that was made on the 13th is 60.83 now. If it gets to 61.72, somewhere in the 61.70s, that's when, if you haven't been stopped out of this, and I would put a stop right now at 50, just for the moment, I'd put it at 57.90. No, I wouldn't go that far. I'd put it, it's trading at 60.32. Today's low is 58.91. Let's make it 58.60. Just for the moment. And if it can get into the 61.70s, I would then add the second position of what you would call your add-on position. And even there, I treat the one as a trading position, and I try to keep that as a core. It is just the MACD hasn't turned up. I'd like the MACD to cross positive. It's got a long way to go. So this is a work in progress, but the fact that it's held for about a week, just over a week, and just steadily made higher highs and absolutely higher lows is a really good sign. But I need to see that it takes out, first of all, yesterday's high of 60.64. I'd love to have that today. The high today so far, 60.46. And then the next high is 60.83. That'll be a good sign. So yes, CRISPR, just because of your longer term position, I'm going to say you could add your position, treat it as a split position right now. And if it doesn't, and by Tuesday or so, it hasn't got to the 61.70s, let's look at it again. But this is acting pretty darn well, just on a very short term basis. So I do like it. Next question came in. Let me just get to let me look down. Oh, Alcoa. Alcoa is trading down at 98, down 34 cents. So the 200-period moving average, I use this is Technical Friday. So let me talk about the technicals. I did do a webinar. If you're interested in the webinar from Tuesday night, it had a lot of really pertinent information and longer-term information looking at different moving averages, etc., and patterns. So look at this. Once it grabs the 200-period moving average, it acts like a magnet. But that magnet only goes so far. It has to become a propellant. So Alcoa, AA is the symbol, aluminum. It needs, over a period of, I'd even give it, what's today's day, the 15th? I'd say for a whole week, if it tags just once, say it goes into the 32s, if it can tag it once, that's good. If it can close in the 32s once in the next 3 to 4 sessions, that'll be the first sign to say that the 200-period moving average not only has become a magnet, but has become a cushion, meaning you can go down maybe a point or so, but it should keep coming back to test the 31.66 200-period moving average level, and that's going to be important. But at this particular stage, I'm just going to say I would hold off. I don't see, from the weekly chart, it's already gotten to an E way below the 200-period moving average, let alone the 40s that the price was in back in 2024. So this is a work in progress. For instance, the SLX, which is the steel stock ETF, Having a very nice session today. It's at 70.43. It's up 38 cents. And that's because of Nucor. I even mentioned this in my webinar to say it's one of the best of the steels. It's retesting the 146 round number high that it made the other day. Let's just watch it a little bit. And lo and behold, it turns out that Buffett bought a chunk, and it's popped today to the 151.32 level. But look, it's given a chunk of that back. It's only up $1.63 at the low of the day. So this is a... yes, that is an A. Look at that. 139.89. Ho, ho, ho. So look at this. So if you put an up arrow here, this is Technical Friday. So let me show you what I'm looking at. This is an A right here. This is right here. There's your starting point. I'm just going to circle it just to show you where, in the count of the Chapman wave methodology, this is really important. Look what happened. That became the low, and it went to a peak A right there. Underneath that. So that's called a gray A because it hasn't got any confirmation yet of a buy signal. That's a B right there. That's a C, little double top, and bam, it goes to a D. And now this is the quickest ABCD, one of the quicker ones that you can have. And now it's starting to falter a little bit. So it just says to me, Nucor went to a leg E in the weekly chart. All of that's way under the previous highs, so it needs a little bit of work. And I would just say, watching it closely to see how 142 to 141 support holds next week. I'll be right back.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Tiger Technicians Hour is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Yes, I had a question in the den, which was, could I look at MSOS? That's in the cannabis area. So I have the same exact chart. I don't know why you've got MSOS. I've got MJ. It looks to me like it's exactly the same thing in terms of chart patterns. So then, if you don't mind, I'm going to go to Alternate Harvest ETF, cannabis sector. Once upon a time, we had huge gains in this. We just haven't been there for a long time. I did look at this recently. We almost wanted to go, what was it, CGC, and then I just skipped it. And in fact, it's very dangerous, some of these stocks. With the actual MJ, the composite, the index itself, you're looking at a leg D that goes to a peak D today. Now, let me just talk about this for a minute, because it seems like the market is anticipating that that the president will loosen up all different any of the legal aspects in all these different areas, and it certainly will help in the cannabis area. There's a lot going on to be able to make this a successful area from everything I've read. There are financial problems, but now you've got some really big plays. You remember I mentioned this way back, way back, STZ, which is Constellation Brands, which was an incredible company in the sense that everything that Constellation A is STZ is a symbol. I lost all those notations, but I've updated it. But there was a period in 2017, as going into 18, where I read they were just brilliant in the liquor business. And then they bought a cannabis company, and I said, they were so good in the one area, it's going to be a learning experience. Be careful. And it went from about the 220s or 230s all the way down to this low right here on March of 2020 at 104.28. And then they must have started getting things right. And it went very nicely to a peak ABCD, pulls back, goes to another AB, finally C and a D at 247.75. And that was back in early 2024. And then it took a dive, and now it's in a leg, maybe a trough C. That's how bad. So I'm just saying that I don't know what it takes. If they didn't quite get it right, then it's a kind of a tough business. But if the rumor is there, then you can at least trade it based on the rumor, because I don't know what the facts are in terms of, is that A? No, that's a B. Okay, that's a B. And that's a B minus. So yeah, I can't tell you. So let's just go back to the chart. Just look at the chart and say, look, we don't know any of the fundamentals. We can only look at the technicals. It's a fantastic looking chart in that the rally that it's had recently, in fact, the rally that it had just this week with a gap up, took out huge candles all the way to this ugly candle of, right there, the ugly candle of November of 2024, with a high of 40.50 and a low of 32.04 before it just kept cascading to the downside. So this high right here is at 35.10 or something, 35.05. So at 35.05, we've just got our first little bit of a pullback here. Most importantly, the technicals are actually confirming the retro strength went a little overbought, but it's still holding well. MACD is very strong. The histogram's been good. The stochastic is flat at 88%. The on-balance volume did pull back a little bit with a price. MACD, it's almost as if the MACD, the day's young. Maybe the histogram's still improving. But at this particular point, it's at a D. And what would I expect? Let's just treat it as a chart where we don't know anything about the fundies. as I'm looking at this chart, it suggests that because of the strength, you can go to the candles on the left in the weekly chart with a high of 28.92. The next one is right there at 31.14. So those are the highs that I would, those are the levels I'd be looking at as resistance. So with that in mind, I like what I'm seeing. It's only in a leg C. This one had a rule a long time ago of, look, here's the weekly chart, A, B, C, D, E. It had a rule of going to D's, but that was a long time ago. Now it's in a completely different mode. So I like it. I'm anticipating there's some kind of a pullback. How it holds between 31 and 29 is the 9-period moving average support. Let's just give it that room. As you're looking out, I know that you're a long-term buyer and holder of positions. In this particular instance, I would just hold it. I don't know, I'd even say to you, take a little profit now because it's the first time that it's really had a pretty decent rally, going from the about the 16th level, gets doubled to 32 and even goes higher to the 34s. But what I am going to say is hold off a little bit. I don't know if I take anything off, but let's look at it again Monday and Tuesday, and maybe I'll say take something off. I'll say take, this is where you would add. As it stands right now, where would I add? Probably if it dropped under 30, I'd say, ooh, that's a little too steep. But that might be exactly the area we have to start to consider, just under 30, that you want to actually start to add to it. So let's do nothing right now. It's been a spectacular move. I don't think the gap from the beginning of the week at 26.50 is going to be filled in this move. But let's just watch it closely, because if it takes out the low of Wednesday, which was 30.95, and the speed with which it does. If it does it very quickly, we've got to monitor it. If it just starts to come down and taking a breather, takes a little bit of time, that's another thing. So I like it. It's in a leg C. Technically, it should still go to a leg D. That's what I hope that helps you. Next question came in. Where did I put it? UPS. So UPS looks a little bit like Eli Lilly. It just started this little stair-step move to the upside, but it's got a huge gap up at the top. I'm just talking about chart pattern. Actually, now that I look at it closer, it doesn't, because this has already gone peak A, peak B. Oh, my. Is that a double? Is that the same price? Yeah, so 88. 78, 30. Okay, this is a leg C, right on the 40-period exponential moving average. Now, I don't know whether you're buying or selling, or you think this is a great opportunity, but what I would say is, from the technicals, the way the technicals have steadily moved up, this was trading in the hundreds, 105, 108, just in July, and then it plummets down to the low of the 1st of August at 84.28. 84.28. I'd be hesitant to say do any buy. If you're short, I'd say cover some of your short position at this high right here. That was the high of the 30th at 91 round number high. That's where I would come. But I'll spend a little more time when I get back, because this is different in the sense that it's steadily moving higher. Eli Lilly took out.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direction. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direction.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direction.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Hi folks, and let me just say, I wouldn't do anything with UPS right now. It's just kind of stuck, but if you are short, I would just have one of my buy stops would be at that 90 level, but it looks to me like it's going to do some retesting of the 85s. It's at 88.45 right now. A quick question came in. And I mentioned Eli Lilly. I was talking about it the other day. It needed to clear the left side, the gap down high. It's done that. It's in the weight loss. It's just there's a lot going on with Eli Lilly. This is trying to establish some kind of a tradable bounce, and we'll have to watch it into next week because it has to hold 682 as key support on the very short term. And then a question came in, Basil. Let me see, where is it? I really like Chapman Wave, trying to make dip buying easier. Can you indicate date you made the QQQ a buy mode in weekly from April low? Once in a buy mode, why not just keep buying dips until leg D? So that's a great question. And let me just show you something quickly. So the QQQ got upgraded to a buy mode fairly quickly because that gap did not pull back. So I said, and not only that, at that particular point, I believe it was 550. Yeah, we have gotten to that level right there from the May 19th high, pull back, and the 9-period moving average was still walking. The 14 was really good. So what happens is you use overlapping waves. So the daily, when it improves enough and goes to at least one buy mode and it's still like an A and now it's gone to a B, but in this case, the A was so powerful, it actually, it was before it took out the 540 high. So I upgraded it at that point. But really what happened was when the stochastic screamed sharply above the 80% level, that to me was, with the MACD, the wide aperture between the slow and the fast moving average, that to me said, this is a buy mode. It should be going to at least to a D. You didn't know at that time how high. You just knew that that was the technique. And even now in leg B, you're absolutely correct in the long term. But wait, if this is a leg B, just to have any orderly pullback that you would normally expect, even if it went to the 14-period moving average of 545, so that is 30 points. Let's just say it was 20%. That would come down to the 520 level, and that would still be a buy mode. So that's what I'm saying. The actual implementation makes it a little bit difficult. So I hope that helps you. And then a question came in. When did it go? The FXI. FXI right now is trading unchanged at 38.41. Remember, I said it's kind of stuck in this range for now. It's not bad. It might even turn out to be a peak C1, C2 in the weekly, but that's the China large cap, holding quite nicely. So there are a couple of things that I needed just to talk about now, and that is, let me just get to it right here. I've got it written down. I did that. Yes. So the IYT I'd mentioned was doing quite nicely. And it's gone to a leg, today it just went to a leg C. That's the full transportation index, average index, right? But now what we've got is jets, which I'd followed very closely. And that's with oil coming down. Look what jets has done. Jets has almost gone to a leg D in the daily chart. In the weekly chart. Look. That high, that the kind of double top that we're looking at, this is excellent action for the U.S. Global Jets ETF. So this is something to keep in mind. The high was 25.88 on the 10th of July, and then the other day it went to 25.77. Hasn't broken that yet, but this is a pattern that we look at a lot. And let me just draw it in for you. This is the Chapman falling axe formation, and now it's been trading above that. So this is a good sign, and this is suggesting that in the next 4 to 6 weeks, there's a really good chance that it's going to test the previous, not the all-time high, but the high of January, the week of the 24th of 27.10. Well, that doesn't make sense. We were talking about 20. Oh, it wasn't 28. It was sorry. It was right. I said 25, right. 88, 25.88. Yeah, so this is good action. And not only that, even in the weekly chart, we can do the same thing. Patterns seem to repeat very often and in different time frames. Look at this. This is a Chapman falling axe formation right there. Right there. This is JETS, Jets. And it is the U.S. Global Jets ETF. So this is good action. Right. So that's it. Yeah, so thank you, at least WP. I appreciate that. Not everything goes well. I messed up with the IWM, which has been, it's done so beautifully right now. IWM trading at 226.84, but it looks to me it took out the left side low from yesterday, so it's stalling. Now I have to ask the question, there's no other way to count this but a peak C. That means it might have to take time before it breaks to a leg D. But so far it's still very good action in the weekly chart. It hasn't gone as powerfully as the others with the 9 period over the 14, but it's done very well. Next question I had here was, let me get to it, was that Home Depot we're looking at. Let me just do it quickly. Home Depot, pulling back from a peak D. Amazon, AMZN, right here trading leg B. Looks like it wants to test the 236.51 July high. All-time high was back in February of 2025 at 242.72. This is doing well. Now, does Amazon have the ability to ward off the inflationary aspect of tariffs? Well, so far, the chart says it has. Look at that horrible gap down, and it's filled the gap. So that just says, each company has to do its best to alleviate some of the inflationary aspects that have cropped up, but we'll see. But what is the count on the NQ? The NQ itself let me go. What am I looking for? There we go. Why am I forgetting? NDX. NDX.X. Yeah. Oh, don't tell me I lost my count. Oh, for crying out loud. Look, the 9-period moving average never went pink. It stayed green. This is still very good. So I have to do the QQQ. But if I believe I should still have the comp index. So this is the QQQ right now. It's a G/A. You just need to go to 583.43, and that definitively says that's a B. And if it doesn't do that, you've got to watch this closely. Let me see if I've got the comp index. Here I am, PX. Oh, I haven't updated it. Oh, okay. So this is a leg B in the weekly. This is the broader, and it's an F/A in the monthly chart, and this is going to be D, right? The instant restart. So we're going to go look within 3 bars. So this becomes A, B, C, another instant restart. We'll see if this continues, but all you're going to do, you don't usually have a whole bunch in a row. So this becomes E/E. In your mind, you think A. F. In your mind, you think B. And now we've got either a G or an A. Yeah, everything's the same. Just make it as simple as possible. New highs this coming week will imply that we can keep going higher. And then I'm going to look at this and say, wow, are we waiting for a peak D in the weekly charts to really get a very strong sell-off? We don't know. We'll be back in a moment for the final segment. Let's see, the Dow is up 40, S&P's down 50.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com and hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com and hit Watch Tiger TV.
So real quick before we finish up this segment, and you're going to go to Steve Rhodes, Galaxy Global is a crypto, leg F in the monthly chart, a peak C in the weekly, and a peak D in the daily. And look, we've got this rectangle formation. If it takes out the low that was made on the 5th of August of 25.55, if it goes under 25, it's kind of stuck for a while. And if you look at Bitcoin, look, Bitcoin had that big spike to the upside to 125,200, and now it's pulling back at 2 in a rectangle formation. So 114 is the next support level that must hold for Bitcoin. ETH had a better chart pattern, but it's making a potential peak F/B right now. So watching these all closely. So in the meantime, market's taking a bit of a breather here, but I do believe we've got this rotation where GE stalled. It's making a pullback, having a fantastic move. Robinhood's the same thing. Not as bad as trying to rally, but it's just taking a breather. And Microsoft, same category, and all three of these we are still long, but this is, look, just stalling. And that means there's a chance to rotate into other areas, and that's kind of what we're watching for. So check out my opening call daily newsletter, and I'll do my overview video this afternoon, and we're going to be reviewing a bunch of things. And then I had my Tuesday webinar, and that was discussing particular techniques that you can use to stay in a position for a long time. For instance, just look, as we're going to go to the break, let me just show you this right now. Look at this right here here we go. Look at that. That is Robin. Look at that 9-period moving average, still green. Look at Microsoft. That 9-period moving average, still green. General Electric, the 9-period moving average, it went pink just briefly in June, and then it's now back to green, and it's starting to stall. So these techniques are really, they can help you stay in positions for a long time. So with that said, I'm going to hand you over to Steve Rhodes. Should be a great show, and have yourself a wonderful weekend. I will see you on Monday. Check out my opening call, daily newsletter. See you then.